What happened to you, Ted? You were excited about medicine. You were going to change the world.
My boy, the world's going to take care of itself. But who's going to take care of us? Nobody needs us. Our kids off at dentists, our ex-wives lawyers, that's who needs us. Ben, would you grow up for once? Will you think of yourself? With me, you could practice medicine minus all the aggravation.
Just isn't me, Ted.
So what is you? You could have had any top practice in the country. But no. You had a world to fix. Combat surgeon in Vietnam. 5 years on that Appalachian project. Right? Another 12 years working up that neurosurgical service at Milwaukee County.
I was chief of service.
Big deal. What did it get you? Bupkis. A civil service salary. A plaque on a wall that nobody ever looks at. And where are you now? You're back where you started from, but there's 25 years off the clock.
I'm exactly where I want to be, Doctor. I'm not a businessman, I'm a surgeon.
Another name for a chump. You pay the top malpractice premiums in the profession. Most carriers won't even touch you. You know why? Because you go into some guy's head to patch up an aneurysm. And the family lawyers say, wow, here's a chance to clean up. Because the jerk whose life he saved can't play the French horn anymore, which he never did in the first place. Oh, but you're a doctor. You're a doctor. You're a man of respect. Shortest lifespan. Highest addiction and suicide rate. And you know what? Not only that, but you get pleasure to keep all of your patients' heartache. Then you know what happens, Ben? You get old. In this country, that's 2 points lower than leprosy. You suddenly can't keep up with 25-year-olds. Before you know it, a pretty woman's more of a threat than a promise. Come on, Ben. Ben, the sharks are surfing in the water. Here's your buddy, Ted Hoffman, offering you a way up and out. Then a man has an obligation to his own life.
I'm a fan of pop culture myself. If you think about it, all culture is, in a sense, pop culture.
You have some kind of problem.
Sorry. Just trying to make conversation.
Yeah, we'll try someplace else. What's that stuff?
My navigation instruments. Compass, sextant, marine chronometer.
Need that to find your way to the John, or what?
I'm polishing up my skills. I know it's a long shot, but I applied for the 1989 U.S. South Pole expedition. They don't usually take people without formal scientific training, but I wrote this paper on the Antarctic glacier system.
Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
Do you talk like this all the time?
Sorry. I know I get boring. I've always had a hard time talking to people.
Hey, I wasn't putting you down. Most people couldn't find their butt with a flashlight. What are you going to get out of talking to them? South Pole, though. What are you going to do there besides collect icicles?
It's a fascinating place. The whole Antarctic, climatologically, is a desert. There are blizzards, but it hardly ever snows. Most of the snow was laid down there millions of years ago.
Saw the show on the Antarctic once. All you could see was penguins and ice, but it went on for hours. At least it felt that way. What are you in here for?
I have Hodgkin's disease.
Is that serious?
It's not so bad. I'm used to it. What about you?
I fainted. No big deal. They just want to make sure I'm okay. It was nice talking to you.
Same here. My name's Kyle, by the way.
I'm Blaine.
Will I see you again?
What do you think? Got nothing to do but hang around this place? I'm gonna be out of here tomorrow.
I see. I mean, that's good for you.
Wait!
Who are they?
My family. Give my regards to the South Pole.
X-rays on Mr. Rollis, the airline pilot we admitted yesterday.
Let's look at them. See anything on these pictures?
Well, I'm not sure. I think...
Don't think, just look. Anything jump out at you?
The pineal shifted.
What about it?
You can see it in both pictures.
So?
Well, that probably means a space-occupying lesion.
Now, what's all this telling you?
Large tumor on the right side localized.
Operable?
Probably.
You planning on doing your residency in neurosurgery?
I hadn't thought about it.
You ought to.
Yes, sir.
Something bothering you?
No, sir. Excuse me, I have to get back to the floor.
Shirley, you okay?
I'm fine.
Fine, you look like hell.
It's, just something I hate. I'm okay. I just need to be by myself for a while, okay?
You sure?
I'm sure.
I think they work better with gas in the tank.
Is somebody drinking this stuff? I filled it up last night.
Somebody might have siphoned it.
Don't you have security around here?
We have 2 officers for an acre of cars. On our budget, we might be able to add a scarecrow. Come on, I'll give you a lift. I got this anguished call from social services. You withheld a report on a patient named Blaine Garrett.
That's right.
I know you have an allergy to hospital regulations, but those reports are required by a little something called the law.
The same law that requires social service agencies to make best efforts to return the child to parental custody?
You don't approve.
It's one of those no-think laws that don't help kids. Just keeps them running. I mean, who does social services think they are anyway? Huckleberry Finns out on a caper? 80% of these runaways are from criminally abusive homes. Blaine was raped by her stepfather. Is that what I'm supposed to send her back to?
And Dr. Madigan's son, what's your justification on that one?
I'm I'm going to see Madigan now.
What are you going to do? Duke it out with the men? We cannot keep a kid against his father's will. It's not his choice. I'm going to have to transfer him to Mercy.
How, by armed force? On the other hand, I think you could make a case that once this, what did your admissions officer call me, out-of-control maniac, took him in, there are now medical grounds for not interfering with his treatment.
You really think that'll hold up?
Until I can think of something else.
Dr. Casey? You know, most of us are experts at screwing up our personal relationships. God knows I'm no exception. And some of us try to compensate by attempting to fix in other people's lives what we can't in our own.
Is that bad?
Not bad. Just impossible.
I gave you explicit orders to transfer Kyle.
I have the greatest respect for you, Doctor. But I work for Kyle, not you.
You're forgetting I'm Kyle's father.
Am I the one who's forgetting? Kyle thinks you want him to die.
It's typical of patients in that situation to make dramatic declarations.
Patient? Is that what you call him, a patient? You regard him as some case history in the New England Journal? This is your son.
You're an expert on fathers and their sons?
I'm no expert. But if I know anything, it's because I've made all the mistakes. Your son's on the last leg of a lonely journey. He doesn't know why you've withdrawn from it. He wants you to be his dad again. He wants you to love him.
Is love going to save him? My son's going to die.
Not yet.
You're the hero that's going to turn it all around?
I'm going to do the best I can.
I know what your best is. A parade of sanctioned medical tortures under the euphemism of therapy. You say you're preserving life, but you're not. All you're preserving is the delusion of omnipotence, rather than confront the one thing that terrifies you more than death. The realization of your own futility. Diagnosed 3 years ago. Stage 3, Hodgkin's. Was given regional radiation therapy. Remission. Recurred 6 months later. Given combination chemotherapy. Remission. Severe bone marrow depression. Remission. Recurrence. Remission. Recurrence. Remission. Recurrence. And now you propose more of the same? At what cost to my son? More medically inflicted pain? More unendurable suffering?
Whose unendurable suffering, Doctor? Kyle's or yours?
It was special. I used to take him to work with me when he was 3 years old. He used to amaze the other doctors by reading aloud from magazines in my office. My old teacher, Dr. Unger, said he was going to be a great man. Greater than all of us.
He may still be. His life isn't over yet. He's just like the rest of us. We all know we're going to die, but we don't know when. All any of us have is just a little time.
You're his physician. Do what you have to do. Good day, Doctor.
Dr. Casey, patient 512, Mr. Hill. Did you want him prepped for surgery?
Where'd you get that idea?
I think you better talk to Antonelli.
Antonelli? Who ordered surgery on Mr. Hill?
Dr. Stratton's orders. I just got them.
Dr. Stratton?
Yes. Doctor, what can I do for you?
I understand you ordered a pre-op workup on Mr. Hill.
Mm-hmm.
Is there some problem? Are you sure you want to operate?
Make your point, Doctor.
Well, there are no headaches, no seizures. I think we could run some more tests on this patient before we put him through surgery. It's not as if his condition is life-threatening.
You don't think a malignancy is life-threatening?
Well, there's no evidence of a malignancy.
Well, I beg to differ, Doctor. The X-ray clearly shows a parietal lobe abnormality.
But no sign of a tumor. And even if it is, it's probably benign. Considering Mr. Hill's age and physical condition, a lot less dangerous than some questionable surgery.
I would be careful about my choice of words.
I'm paid to be careful about my patients.
Maybe the strain of your new responsibilities is getting to you, Dr. Casey. Maybe that's something that ought to be discussed at the next meeting of the hospital board, of which I happen to be a member.
I'm impressed with your professional status. We're talking about a patient's life.
Correction. Not a patient. My patient. I intend to operate tomorrow afternoon. I want that pre-op workup on my desk first thing in the morning.
Dr. Rickman, call radiology. Dr. Rickman.
What are you going to do?
We're going to give the man what he wants.
What he wants. It's his $5,000 surgical fee. Mess with that, and you mess with that, which is sacred.
Dr. Jacobs, it's a big day around here when you put your gown on straight, so will you spare me your opinions?
I'd still want to check the scans again.
Dr. Jacobs, there may come a day when what you want might have a meaning in the practice of medicine. Now, that's not likely to happen in my lifetime, much less my tour of duty.
You're going to check the scans again anyway. Let me tag along. What are you looking for?
I'll look at that area right over in the parietal lobe.
You thinking AV malformation?
Well, Stratton... on the ground and wanting to operate.
You think he's wrong?
Well, surgery could cause severe disability. This guy isn't in the best of shape. It's a judgment call. Stratton's making it.
Look, what does Stratton want? He wants you to do a complete pre-op. Why? To cover his back, so if he screws up the operation, he can holler at the evaluation and say that's what he relied on.
Well, he's certainly within the bounds of accepted medical judgment.
Is it the only way to go, though?
I take it you have some other alternative in mind. Something no one's been bright enough to think of.
I know this radiologist, Dr. Hollett. She's into all kinds of weird state-of-the-art diagnostics. Maybe she knows something Stratton doesn't.
What you really want is a fiber optic micro camera that's small enough to go into the cerebral vessels.
You working with one of those?
How could I? It doesn't exist.
Hey, what is this? What, am I setting you up for gag lines?
Hey, it's concept, all right? What are you getting hot about?
I can't cure a patient with a concept, Doctor.
Israelis have this thing. It's a needle camera for long-range missile drone reconnaissance. They used it over the Sinai.
Doctor, will you get on track? I'm trying to treat a patient, not bomb Syria.
Hey, give me a break. I haven't had my hair done for 2 weeks. I haven't even been to the gym. Forget sex. Who has sex these days anyway? You've got to be nuts.
Sorry, we're cool. Everybody's fine. All Dr. Casey wants to know is there any way to treat this guy short of full-scale surgery?
Bald.
What?
Ball embolization. Look, with this particular patient in his condition, you want to be in and out fast, see what's going on. You don't want to go into overtime. Now, state-of-the-art probe. You shoot in your dive. The vessel shows up on an enhanced fluoroscope like a Kurosawa film.
Doctor.
Okay, lateral thinking is taboo. I understand your classic linear mentality here.
So you drop the catheter on the fluoroscope.
You see something you don't want to mess with, you just get out fast. No harm, no foul. On the other hand, maybe you find that you're staring at an AV malformation instead of a tumor. Oh, that's what you're thinking, right?
Possibility.
Right, I'm beginning to understand your mind, and if it's an AV malformation, you can take care of it right then and there.
Right, with no significant danger to the patient, right?
You serious? Compared to this baby, conventional surgery is like going upside the patient's head with a chainsaw. You can watch it on the monitor. He'll love it. And if the tape is good, we'll send it off to David Letterman.
Dr. Chan, call switchboard. Dr. Chan.
Scalpel.
Feeder vessel blocked off. Field's clear.
Bingo. AV malformation. Your call.
Let's do it.
Before and after. Less than 4 hours. Patient fully conscious. No need for general anesthesia or craniotomy. Stratton's going to be wiping Ahmed off his face.
Keep the patient monitored for the next 24 hours. Constant nursing care.
We'll get right on it. This one, in the bank.
Squeeze as hard as you can. That's good, Kyle. Okay, now pull. Pull as hard as you can. Yeah. Very good. If you keep improving like this, I'm going to have to bounce you out of here.
Where to? I think my dad's still sore at me for coming here.
Well, I think he's got more of a beef with me. Kyle, what you said about his wanting you to die, you know it isn't true.
Isn't it? Why doesn't he come to see me?
Well, it's hard for him. You know what you have to do. He doesn't. He's one of our greatest doctors, and yet he can't make you all better. The one person he cares about more than anything in the world.
I don't want him to be my doctor. I just want him to be my dad. Like he used to. I don't know if I'm going to make it to the big South Pole expedition. Still a year away. I might be real sick by then. But I just got this letter. It's a special cruise. It leaves in 2 months. It's for laymen and scientists. They wrote me. There's a place for me. I have to go. I know I can make it. Just don't give up on me.
I never give up.
No, we just got the test on Blaine.
What are you saying?
Blaine, remember the first night you were here? I asked you about your walk.
Told you there's nothing wrong with the way I walk.
You had a seizure. You fell and you injured yourself. The seizures are from a condition called epilepsy.
What is it? Can you make it go away?
Epilepsy is treatable. We can control the seizures. But you can't run around without treatment.
No. I'm not like those people.
What people?
The ones you see in the streets. They have things wrong with them. They can't walk. They talk to themselves.
That isn't epilepsy. Epileptics are perfectly normal people. But you need medication. Adult supervision. You can't live in the streets, Blaine.
I don't have any place else. I'm not going home. There's nothing wrong with me. I want to get out of here.
Blaine, you have a lingering concussion from your last fall. Now, if you have another seizure, you could fall in front of a car.
I don't believe you. I want to go. You can't make me stay.
I can't stop you.
Where's my clothes?
They're in the bathroom. Tie your shoelaces, Blaine.
What's happening to me?
You're still dizzy from your concussion.
Get away from me. I hate you. I hate you.
Absolutely. I'll tell him as soon as I see him. Dr. Casey. Dr. Gillette's been phoning every 5 minutes.
What now?
She wouldn't say, but she wants you in her office. Stat.
Just one moment. I'll put you through to Dr. Graham.
Is this going to be a long one?
Don't worry. I promise to hold your interest. What's your involvement in the Hill case?
Involvement. The Hill was a patient on my service.
Dr. Stratton's patient.
Now, Dr. Stratton's a little piqued because I had the effrontery to save his patient $5,000, along probably with his life.
Eloquent. And irrelevant.
Well, I'm eager to hear what you think is relevant.
How about authority to perform a surgical procedure? All Stratton ordered you to do was a preoperative workup.
That's right. And I'm within discretion in countermanding the order on grounds. Are you saying I didn't have grounds to use a safe procedure rather than a high-risk one?
For diagnosis. But you did not stop at that. You went on to do the actual procedure.
And blow Dr. Stratton's fee, right? Isn't that the issue? I'm running a neurosurgical service, not a high-priced hotel where physicians can stash their patients till they figure out ways to drain the last buck out of every case.
I repeat, irrelevant.
You're an MD. You've had surgical training.
So?
You're operating on a perforated ulcer, say. And in the process of opening the patient up, you find another condition that hasn't been diagnosed, say a bowel tumor, unmetastasized. Well within reach of your scalpel. Do you take it out? Or do you say, no, I'm just going to cure the ulcer? Close the patient up and let somebody else do a second operation. Who knows? Maybe the patient will be lucky enough to live through it.
That was not your situation.
It's close enough, and you know it. I made a discretionary judgment call well within the guidelines. The catheter was inside the patient's brain. He'd been terrified of surgery. When I told him he didn't have to, he was ecstatic. He walked out of here yesterday symptom-free, ready to go back to work. So what's the problem?
This was just delivered by hand from Mr. Hill's attorney. If this guy's so ecstatic, how come he's suing you and the hospital for malicious malpractice?
Hey, guys. Where's Stacy and Jack?
Jack's stepdad left, so he went home. Stacy's in juvie. She got busted for hustling. She'll be all right, though. She likes it there.
What about Matt?
Well, we haven't seen him for a while. We came to tell you, Blaine. We're going to Florida.
Florida? How come?
You always said it's nice there.
Yeah. Lots of sun and beach. Free orange juice. So how are you gonna get there?
This guy I know, he's got a truck, and he's going to take us.
Donald's got a brother there. He's gonna help us out.
Yeah, we're just waiting for you to get out of here.
Can't come with you.
How come?
I just can't, that's all. Look, you guys take care. Don't let anybody mess with you. You stick together. Anybody needs something, the rest of you guys gotta take care of him. There ain't nobody else, you hear? We hear you. Don't cry, Blaine.
We love you.
You guys better get out of here before they bust you.
Interesting.